Hello, my name's Mike, and I'm very new at this. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. Um, what I'm doing this year is I made a New Year's resolution. Well, actually, I've been wanting to do this my entire life. But life throws you curves, right? You get married, you have kids, you have obligations, and some of those dreams are put off. Well, my youngest one is finally moving out. I had my kids when I was somewhat young, so I'm about 47 now, 48, 47. And I still have enough strength in me to put everything together. So what I'm looking to do is become more off-grid, self-reliant, not wanting to rely on the government, society, because it's not good. Things are falling apart. So many things are happening under the surface that people just don't know about. That's probably for another subject altogether. But there's a few things that we have to do to become more self-reliant. One of those things is to live mortgage-free. Without a free mortgage, without that obligation of paying rent, most of us are one paycheck away from being thrown out on the street. So we have to have that place that we can call our own, truly our own. That it's not fake, such as buying land. You think you own it and you don't. Miss a year of taxes on that land, see who actually owns it. Hell, miss 3 months on the land and they start threatening you right away. It's an illusion that you own anything, to be quite honest. But that being said, we need to be mortgage free. And next is we need to have a clean source of food, vegetables and fruits that's not poisoned. Our government has been infiltrated by Monsanto. They put their one CEOs into the FDA now. It's so corrupt. It's so in your face, illegal, and corrupt that it's just sickening. And the American people are beginning to wake up, thank God. But they got to do it faster. Right now we are being poisoned. As some of you may know, Russia signed into law today that if you are not, in their country, if you are not labeling GMO, you are hugely fined. Put you out of business kind of fine. And one of their leaders, not Putin, but one of their high-ranking officials said simply this. He was asked, why won't you let GMO in your country? And he said, because we're not going to allow our people to be poisoned. Simple as that. So that's how much our government thinks of us. Because when you get poisoned, you get sick, then you go to the hospital, and the pharmacy makes their money, and it's all a Ponzi scheme to get as much as that worthless paper fiat money out of your pocket. It's not worth a dime. Not even that. It's not worth 2 cents. It's literally not worth the paper it's printed on. For real. But that's another story. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about our true history, where we're actually really from, the lies we've been told, where all the gold is with the imperial family, and how our country's really got started. Boy, we have been lied to from the very, very beginning. But that's for another time, right? Another story. So after we do our vegetables, I think we're going to do it through aquaculture. And we're also going to implement permaculture. No one wants to go garden 24/7, right? But with Permaculture Food Forest, I did one of those on a small scale, and it was fantastic. After a year and a half, 2 years, I walked away, and everything was on its own. It fertilized itself. It grew. I went in there once a year, and very early spring or in the winter to clean up the area, and that was pretty much it. That's all I did. Then the next step would be we need protein, right? A clean source of protein. So simple livestock has to be included. Now since we're doing aquaponics, we will have fish, but also we're going to need meat, such as rabbit, chicken. Of course, we have eggs. It's very important, I think, to have at least one single cow for dairy. People do say you can use goats, but my wife swears up and down that she must have had a real bad experience with goat milk, because she says it tastes like ass. So I'm going to have to trust her on that, and we're going to go after a cow, I think. And once a year we'll have a calf, and that calf will supply our meat, and we give it a try. So I'll be looking for at least 1 acre of land, after we build the tiny house. And my goal is to have that tiny house on wheels finished before winter, before I have to re-sign the lease on this house, because we're renting right now. And then the 4th stage is making sure that the land is capable of sustaining us financially as well. That may be a little bit more tricky, but when you don't need money, it's easy, right? There's an old saying, I think it's old, it says here, to live in abundance. What it is to live in abundance is having what you need, not necessarily everything that you want. If your needs are met, you live in abundance. If you're hungry, you eat. If you're cold, you can go into your house, right? If you have clothes, simple clothes, everything you need are pretty much those basic things. And if you have them anytime you want them, you're huge. Because to be a millionaire and have all your money gone, and boom, you're out on the street, what is any of that got you? Got you nothing. And that money is nothing. That being said, I hope you follow along. I'm not just going to talk to you about and show you what I'm doing as far as being more self-sustained, but I also want to talk to you about the truth, the real truth that's happening to this world. You know probably as well as I do that the United States government is extremely corrupted now, that the corporations have taken over the United States government, the fiat system, because the Federal Reserve was taken over by a corporation, became a corporation back in, I think, 1913. They started printing up as much money as they can to go after other countries in order to create war under the term of, oh, we want to make sure that they have a democracy, which was all a lie. It was just about them putting their own people in and pretending that they had a vote, just like the United States, pretending that they have a vote when all they're doing is putting their same corrupt people in there. What's the saying? The best way to keep people enslaved is to make them believe that they're free. Does that not scream United States and Canada? We're going to talk about that. I'd like to talk to you about the things that happened throughout the week, through the bricks, through our well, it's hard to explain until we just plain get started on it. So we'll see how that goes, but please follow along with me. I'll get started uploading videos very soon. I like to do things at least once a week to let you know what's truly going on in the world, not what the fake corporate media is telling you or not telling you. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably don't watch corporate media, right? I'm probably preaching to the choir. There's a lot of things that I like to believe that I know, the circles that I'm in, that you may not be aware of, but I'm also open to, you getting back with me by leaving comments. Okay, so everyone stay safe and follow along, and hopefully I make it alive. All right, thanks.